So we've seen plenty of very famous silks, and here's another set, Nico. JP McManus, probably one of the most recognisable set of silks in Ireland and the UK. And you've worn them on several occasions. A couple of horses that come to my mind, Chantry House, Jonbon. Those two have won great races for you with these colours. But let's talk about Epatante first, because she's obviously a Unibet champion hurdle winner, and you've won a Grade 1 in those silks on her, the Christmas hurdle.
I did. I think Aidan at the time was injured, and I came in for the ride. And again, it was very straightforward. She seemed to jump her way to the front, and from that, I just sort of let her roll. And on her day, she was a very sort of high class mare, and I didn't ride her at her best. I think Barry Geraghty had her at her best, and I rode her. I think I only rode her a couple of times, and once at Doncaster last year, which was the last time she won. But again, these colours are incredibly famous and part of the history of the place. And when I started, Binocular was flying the flag, and it was great just to watch him. And I remember the schooling session he did before his first champion hurdle here was unbelievable, and I've never seen horses go so fast. AP and Sam Whaley-Cohen upsides, and yeah, great to watch.
And lots of horses here at Nicky's have worn those silks, and behind us we've got the Greatwood Hurdle rug. You've won those colours with Iberica Lord at the Greatwood Hurdle this year. He won really well. He's a horse that maybe you're looking forward to in the future. A lot of these horses we're looking back on, but Iberica Lord's a horse for the future.
Yeah, Aidan rode him at Sandown last year, and he just got beat by Under Control. It was a very good race, and Iberica Lord, it looked as if he was going to keep progressing, and he certainly did that in the Greatwood, and he won it well in the end.
Let's talk about those two horses at the beginning. Chantry House, what a beautiful looking horse, and what a chaser he's been. Now over hurdles, but he was very good over fences in his day.
Yeah, and he was good over hurdles as well. He was third in the Supreme as well, which Barry rode him then, and then I was able to ride him in his novice chases. He went to Wetherby, and then he went to Cheltenham and Aintree, which it was Envoy Allen was in the same race, and I think at Cheltenham we just thought we were all sort of running around for second place, and then he fell early, and then it was the game was on, and off we go.
In that race, because he did fall behind you, if I remember, didn't he?
Yeah.
So you didn't know he'd gone. When you're jockeys, do you hear? Do you know?
I think word filtered around.
Right.
Somehow, so I'm sure we did know. But yeah.
Because it probably changes your game plan if you know that a horse he was favourite, wasn't he, to win that race, and one of the bankers of the meeting for many.
Exactly.
So it must change your plan if you know he's gone.
Well, Envoy Allen was tearing up Ireland, and he was the sort of banker of the Irish banker of the meeting at the time, and so yeah, once he was gone, I think it was definitely sort of let's see what we can do.
Well, the other colours which we've seen you in these recently, obviously Aidan Coleman's injured at the moment, but you wore these colours to victory on Jonbon. He's a horse that you've known a lot because he's been here for a long time, came with a big reputation and a big price tag, and he's living up to it.
Yeah, he is. He's a fantastic horse. I rode him in his bumper, and then I've done a lot of watching Jonbon, but I haven't done much riding of him. But whenever I have, I've always admired him from afar, and when I got to ride him as well, he's a very slick jumper, and he's got a high cruising speed, and right now I think he's definitely flying the flag for this side of the Irish Sea anyway.
And one other horse that you've beaten in these colours was Bouverdere in the Christmas hurdle when you were on board Verdana Blue, who was the outsider of the Nicky Henderson horses, and you kind of beat JP in the finish. I've never seen someone win a Grade 1 and look so unhappy. I mean, that was a crazy performance, because you came on the line and you beat the favourite Bouverdere. But Verdana Bleu ended up being such a fantastic horse anyway. What a mare she was on the flat and over hurdles. What's your memory of Verdana Bleu and that day?
Well, she gave her owners a lot of fun. I remember, the morning of that day, I was in here riding out, and I went in to get my instructions from the governor, and he said, well, what do you want to do on Verdana Bleu? And I said, I think we'll just sit out the back and trap Bouverdere and then do him on the line. And he laughed at me. He laughed at me and said, well, yeah, that's all he did. And then it actually came to pass, and I think it wasn't supposed to happen, I'd say, because on form figures it couldn't happen. And it was just one of those things that did, and I was incredibly lucky to win a Christmas hurdle, and she was a fantastic mare. But I don't know if I was embarrassed or I think I was just a bit bewildered. I didn't know what to think really, particularly when you beat someone from your own stable, and it's just mixed emotions, I'd say, rather.
Yeah, I think it was shock.
Yeah,
I mean, you knew what you wanted to do, but you probably didn't even believe that you could do that to Bouverdere, because you know how good Bouverdere is.
Yeah, I'm the competitor in me wants to win, of course.
Blue on the near side of Bouverdere, clear of if the cap fits in third.